there's something big happening in Los Angeles. And it's not just the perfect record. There's a sudden blackout in the backfield that could reroute the season. A coach's praise so massive for a defensive leader that it shakes the franchise's history. A rookie who kicked the door open and might never give the job back. And a strategist already leaving entire offenses speechless. Who's truly ready to carry the load when the game gets tight. You won't believe what we've got today. So take a seat, drop a like, and let's dive right into the news. Starting with the topic that left everyone breathless. The Chargers' backfield took a hit that changes the narrative, the schedule, and the way you close games. The scene was tough, and the implications are even bigger. When an explosive offense needs to bleed the clock in the fourth quarter, you need that brick carrier who absorbs contact, turns third and short into first downs, and forces respect at the line of scrimmage. And guess what? That exact piece just left the board. That's why today's update reroutes the season. Najee Harris is out for the year with a torn Achilles. Brutal blow, no sugarcoating it. Beyond production, he carried the physical tone Jim Harbaugh loves when a game becomes trench warfare. The plan now shifts to accelerating first-round pick Omarion Hampton, opening the rotation for Hassan Haskins, and yes, giving real consideration to elevating Kamani Vidal off the practice squad. Hampton has the RB1 look, explosion, balance after contact, and patient vision. Haskins can take short yardage and pass protection packages. Vidal, who already knows the building, brings fresh legs between the tackles and reliable hands for checkdowns. With this trio, you can build a functional committee without losing identity. There's one decisive detail. At some point, Harbaugh will want to turn first downs into sledgehammers. Even if the run game hasn't been the engine through 3 weeks, he won't abandon his philosophy. That's where the market comes in. Jamal Williams, at 30, may not cover ground like he used to, but his red zone and goal-to-go impact remains premium. He fits power concepts, follows his blocks without overcomplicating things, and falls forward. Tactically, living in 12 personnel with an extra tight end to seal edges can make life easier on the rookie. Screens, draws on third and short, and pre-snap motion to cloud linebacker reads also help build confidence. The line needs clean duos and simple combo rules, avoiding overload on whoever's stepping in. This isn't the time for genius, it's the time for efficiency. And of course, risk management. Protect the ball, reduce tackles for loss, and accept the modest gains that keep the chains moving. When a defense must honor the hammer, Justin Herbert's play action bites again. The fan base already lit the fuse. Invest in a veteran now or push all chips on Hampton. Comments are buzzing with cautious optimism. Many point out that great runs begin when the next man does the job. Others want aggressive calls today. My practical verdict: elevate Vidal immediately. Give Hampton 15 to 18 touches. Reserve the heavy packages for Haskins. And if the price is right, add Williams for the money downs. September is about identity. And identity is built when the clock is running and the stadium holds its breath. And that wasn't even the most surprising part of the day. If there's one name that stirs the soul of Chargers fans, it's Derwin James. Year after year, he proves he's not just a safety, he's the heartbeat of the defense, the tone setter physically and emotionally. And if the fan base already knew it, hearing Jim Harbaugh place James in near-mythic territory hit even harder. This wasn't a throwaway compliment, it was a statement for the time capsule. Harbaugh, who doesn't mince words when he wants to elevate someone, went beyond the usual comparison. He said, flat out, that Derwin James is the best football player he's ever been around. Not just the best safety, not just the best defender, best player. And to underscore it, he invoked a goosebump-level parallel. Junior Seau, the legendary linebacker, a San Diego icon, the face of the franchise for 13 seasons. Harbaugh shared a locker room with Seau in the late 90s, so one knows exactly the weight of that name. For fans, it feels like the past's flame connects to the present. It's as if Sau's legacy lives in James, not only through talent, but through contagious energy, love for the game, and the way he lifts everyone around him. Harbaugh even used a vivid metaphor. He called James the iron wall that negativity bashes against. That captures not only the on-field output, but the off-field presence, the preparation, the culture of a team finally starting to believe it can go beyond. This kind of comparison isn't handed out lightly. Harbaugh's seen stars up close, as a player and coach, and still puts James on that pedestal. Fans reacted immediately. Debates on fire across social platforms. Some say it's hyperbole. Others remind everyone that a healthy James transforms this defense into something special. The resume speaks loudly. 4 All-Pros, 4 Pro Bowls, always central to impact plays, blitz coverage, space tackling, vocal leadership. The complete package, but the impact goes beyond stats. When the head coach places James beside an icon like Seau, he's sending a direct message. This team has leadership capable of carrying the franchise to historic heights. He's also signaling James is untouchable, the centerpiece. His responsibility rises, sure, but so does opponent respect. Every offensive coordinator facing the Chargers now has to ask, how do we neutralize the modern Seau? There's no easy answer. The most interesting part, this doesn't happen in a vacuum. Harbaugh is building a narrative, forging identity, and tugging the fan base's heartstrings. He knows the weight of evoking Sau. By saying it aloud, he's igniting not just James, but everyone around him. It's like planting a flag. Our leader is here, he's different from all the rest, and he's the one we'll go to war with. The past-present connection has never felt stronger. But hold on, because what comes next is even harder to believe. If there's a story catching fire inside the building, it's Oronde Gadsden II. Not long ago, he was just another name on the depth chart. No jersey on game day, no snaps, no spotlight, but the NFL is ruthless. An injury opened the door, and when the chance came, he didn't just step through, he stole the moment. In that decisive sequence against the Giants, fans realized the rookie brought something different. 5 catches, 46 yards, and most importantly, 2 clutch grabs on the game-winning drive that set up the kick. Nothing says I belong louder than delivering when the lights burn hottest. Justin Herbert doesn't target just anyone in high-leverage snaps. If he went to the rookie twice with the game on the line, trust was born in the fire. And trust is gold between a QB and his pass catcher. Harbaugh's post-game message only reinforced it. He described looking Gadsden in the eyes and saying, "You're up, you're playing, go have at it," and seeing that gleam, the competitor's look. Harbaugh has a knack for spotting that extra gear, that hunter's instinct that doesn't blink under the bright lights. When he adds, "I've seen this movie before, there's more good to come," fans know it's not empty talk. It sounds almost prophetic. Now the fit. The Chargers' tight end room is sturdy rather than explosive. Will Dissly's knee opened a lane that might not close the same way. Tyler Conklin brings veteran savvy as an every-down option. Tucker Fisk does the dirty work in the trenches. Gadsden injects youth, a big catch radius, and contested catch chops. The exact kind of target that complements Herbert's arm on gnarly third downs. If the staff keeps him active even when Dissly returns, we're looking at a new X-factor in this offense. The fan reaction was instant. Social feeds flooded with clips. Bold comps to tight ends who defined eras. And of course, debates about whether he should grab more snaps now. Many are already calling him a draft steal, an overnight fix for an attack that's lived on Herbert's big plays. Adding a trustworthy middle-of-the-field option is exactly what separates good offenses from championship offenses. There's an emotional layer, too. Gadsden heads back to the tri-state area to face the Giants after 4 years at Syracuse. It's symbolic, almost a debut in front of old neighbors. If he repeats the performance, the narrative will catch fire. And let's be honest, the NFL loves when a great story fuses with real talent. The movie Harbaugh mentioned is just rolling, and while we're buzzing over this meteoric rise bench to primetime contributor, the feeling lingers that the best is still ahead. But stay with me, because the next reveal will reshape how we see this team. If there's someone keeping opposing coaches up at night, it's Jesse Minter. In less than 2 seasons, the Chargers' defensive coordinator has become a must-mention in every future head coach conversation. It's not hype. His unit led the league in points allowed last year and opened 2025 with the same suffocating standard. That kind of transformation changes careers and maybe the franchise's destiny. Minter isn't the schematic wizard who builds something complex just to look brilliant. He builds something simple for his players to execute and lethal for offenses to solve. Pressures arrive on a perfect clock. Coverage disguises bait, veteran QBs. Above all, players level up under his watch. Look at Christian Fulton reviving his career and cashing a big deal elsewhere. Now it's Dante Jackson, whose reputation is rebounding fast, and so far he's pacing metrics that put him among the league's best corners. Fans who frowned when Jackson signed are swallowing hard. Yes, the early schedule didn't feature elite passing attacks, but you can't ignore the poise, the numbers, and the confidence he's playing with. When a corner hits that confidence gear, the rest of the secondary breathes easier. That's how the machine works. One tweak outside and the whole system feels sturdier. Credit to Minter, who spotlights what each guy does best and builds to it. Of course, success raises an inevitable question. How long can the Chargers keep Jesse Minter? The 2026 cycle will come calling. For fans, it's pride and nerves. Pride because it means a visionary is steering your defense. Nerves because losing that mind can change the arc of a team that finally found balance. The pattern is clear. When a franchise has a dominant defense and a coordinator who nails the fine adjustments, success tends to arrive quickly. The question is whether the front office can preserve stability or at least plan ahead. Either way, the impact is here, visible every week. The Chargers aren't just a team that lights up the scoreboard with Herbert. They suffocate, grind, and break an opponent's will. That's the architect's signature. The real test is coming. The Giants, with Malik Neighbors and Wan'Dale Robinson, present the first multi-threat receiver challenge. If the secondary holds, the hype will detonate, because then it's not just flashes, it's consistency against different looks. And that's when you realize you're not just witnessing the rise of a coordinator, you might be watching a future elite head coach being minted. After all that, here's the question that matters. Can the Chargers convert this balance into something bigger, an honest-to-goodness title push? If you zoom out, you can feel the weight of a pivotal night. The backfield reshapes without Najee. Hampton steps into the spotlight, and the front office evaluates Jamal. Derwin is treated as Sue's spiritual heir and yanks the defense forward by example. Gadsden II stops being a long shot and becomes a third-down solution, and Minter cements the identity of a unit that smothers and wins. It all points to a Los Angeles team that's mature, confident, dangerous. Now it's your turn. Which piece changes the season the most? Drop a comment, share this, hit subscribe, and let's push the Chargers even further.